Thanks for the invitation, and I'm sorry I cannot be with you in person. There is indeed a causal link, and history can help us find it. My research has confirmed that in market economies, technological change occurs by revolutions, and in the process of absorbing the new potential, the economy and society are powerfully shaken and transformed. There are usually decades of technical and business turmoil, during which the new replaces the old and destroys industries, jobs, skills, even whole regions. During those times, finance becomes very powerful, and millionaires or billionaires are made, while the majorities lose out. Eventually, society rebels, and in so doing, it becomes fertile ground for messianic leaders that are able to interpret the resentment and redirect it towards the Jews, the Muslims, or the migrants, and also against the traditional parties. They gain power by offering radical solutions that they cannot deliver. However, and this is difficult to believe at the time, the good times do follow these bad periods in a pendular movement that has played out since the Industrial Revolution. What happens is that eventually some bold, imaginative, and charismatic democratic leaders and parties emerge from the fray and manage to redirect business and the new technologies towards a fairer society where the new technologies can bear their full fruit. The Victorian boom, the Belle Époque, and the post-war boom, what you call les Trente Glorieuses, have all occurred after such difficult times. Thanks to those periods, and despite the periodic setbacks, we have been able to move from the satanic mills of the early 19th century to a time when blue-collar workers could own a house with a car at the door and have their children go to university. The bad times can indeed be terrible, much worse than today. The Great Depression of the 1930s, the rise of Hitler and Franco, the strengthening of Mussolini, the growing support for Stalin's pretended socialist paradise, and the horrors of the Second World War, they all preceded the Trente Glorieuses. Today, we are again at a time when an institutional revolution is needed to rescue democracy, reverse inequality, and guarantee the progress and prosperity that can indeed follow from this incredible technological revolution. We need to remember that democracy and participation are based on trust and on well-being. Technological revolutions in the past have created big changes in the jobs market and in the distribution of wealth, and this one is no exception. That breeds resentment as people worry about their own livelihood and about the future of their children. And autocrats and populists flourish by exploiting that resentment and offering either an impossible return to the past or the illusion of a wonderful future that is unattainable. This can last a long time until societies and governments find how to enhance economic and societal well-being by leveraging the potential of the new technologies. From this perspective, what could be the role and the possibilities of Europe in this digital revolution? We know that China and the US are ahead on advancing in the technologies themselves. But an enormous opportunity exists for Europe to thrive in this revolution by putting it to use to address the important social and environmental challenges of our time. Just like the US invented the American way of life for the mass production revolution, Europe can at this point invent a European way of life, shaping the information revolution. The culture is there to move towards a smart, green, and fair way of life. Such a development would demand massive innovation in private and public services, taking advantage of and advancing the latest technologies. Education can be profoundly transformed to provide the most important asset in this paradigm, skills and knowledge, from childhood to old age. The new longevity creates challenges that cannot be addressed with the same old practices, but with a whole new set of innovative capabilities. Government itself, locally, nationally, and supranationally, can be made more effective, efficient, and agile, and all public services can be radically modernized to make them as easy to use as shopping in Amazon. The health sector is open to an enormous amount of innovation to improve lives and create wealth while ensuring the wide availability of services. The green transition is another area where digital innovations can green both the production processes and consumer lives. And most importantly, the institutions of democracy themselves require modernization and rethinking. Driving such innovations can turn Europe into a model society for the new era, dynamize its economies, and create opportunities for exporting the new aspirational good life with the services and goods that enable it. A final and central point to make is that while each technological revolution increases productivity and enables the growth of production, it also needs effective, dynamic demand to achieve its full potential, and that implies the availability of new and growing markets. This was the central achievement of the welfare state. It created mass consumption for mass production. Currently, the West and China are competing for the same markets. It's simply a zero-sum game. The only way to guarantee prosperity and peace for all is to develop sufficient new demand, and this requires that the upcoming golden age be global. That's something that can only happen through significant capital flows into the global south. The Belt and Road Initiative is beginning to do it for China. The West is running late with no ambitious strategies. So to close, let us note that it is not in the nature of business and markets to guarantee a democratic and fair society. Only governments can do it. But our democracies are suffering from a deadly combination of market fundamentalism with the old bureaucratic government structures and practices. The majorities feel that impotence in the degradation of their life conditions. They get angry and rebel. What we need is a major revamping of the public sector with massive institutional innovation at the local, national, and supranational levels, as bold as the institutions that set up the welfare state and the world order of the post-war boom. I know it sounds utopian, but that's how the changes made after the war felt when they were proposed. The truth is that only an intelligent re-globalization can bring prosperity for all, combat climate change across the planet, and stem the flow of desperate migrations. We must set up a new win-win game between business and society, between advanced and developing countries, and between humanity and the planet. Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot be with you any further. I wish you a very fruitful discussion. Thank you.